Welcome back to Make It Mondays, and this week I'm working on a new blanket. This one will be fully knit, so the pattern should be available on Patreon around the time the video comes out. And it's going to be out of homespun yarn. So this is the, used to be considered chunky. It's now really not the most chunky one at the store. Yarn makes stitch definition very hard to see, but it's one of the ones that's really soft and really cushy when given to kids. So let me get everything turned around and I'll show you where I'm at. So I am quite a ways in. I'm actually on my third ball out of 4. And it is just a knit purl blanket. But there's the whole thing of lack of stitch definition. Yeah, it has come back and bitten me a couple times on this particular blanket. So while I will write the instructions for this yarn, yeah, it might not be the easiest one unless you're a more experienced knitter to do with the homespun. So I would actually suggest trying out the stitch pattern on worsted weight first. It is, and I will see if we can actually see this on the camera. So there are diagonals going in one direction, and then as those finish, diagonals in the other direction are picking up. So again, the stitch definition issue, it's actually a bigger issue than it should be on this project. In general, it is groups of 3. So 3 knit, 3 purl, with sometimes where it goes 5 purl and sometimes where it goes to 1 knit, just so that the diagonals happen. So all it is knitting and purling. So really basic stitches. The only thing making it complicated is that the yarn does not allow for stitch definition. And I wish I had realized that when I started this project. It's also making it so I can't feel which direction the stitches are, which, for those of you who are new here, I do a lot of knitting in the dark because I actually knit during tech rehearsals for shows. So this one has unfortunately not been able to go with me as often because I can't tell where I am in the pattern. Okay, so you've now seen a couple repeats of this line. There are only 3 actual stitch variations, but the number of stitches that lead up to any given row change. So there will be a chart involved with the pattern. But I will be back to show how the whole thing finished up. I am using up all of this color of yarn that was donated to Project Linus. The goal is that it will at least be 40 inches square, preferably closer to 40 by 50. So I will be back in just a minute. So here is the final blanket. I did actually stop a little short because I realized that the width I was working with was 48 inches. So this is half of it and this is 24 inches. So I actually made the length, the cast on to cast off edge, 40 inches, so it's 40 by 48. So a little bit smaller than most of my blankets. But again, this stitch pattern is incredibly hard to see, and it was incredibly frustrating on this yarn. So I will write the pattern and put it up on Patreon with this gauge, but I would also highly suggest doing it in a different yarn that you can actually see the stitch pattern in. But if you liked seeing this, if you want to see more blankets, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time on Make It Mondays. Bye.